We study English in schools. We study English in colleges. English is an integral part of our educational curriculum all along. But after studying English for such a long time, we never get around to speak it fluently and confidently. Does it resonate with you? If yes, stick around. This is what we are going to talk about today. If you don't already know, I'm Inder. We shine anywhere and everywhere. Here we talk about self-improvement and personal growth and development. Well, as I said, we spend a lot of time studying English in schools and colleges. Not even a single day goes by when we don't get in contact with English. English is an integral part of our student life. We spend anywhere between 15 and 20 years. It is really a long time to learn something new, isn't it? You can literally master any craft practicing it for so long. But after spending so much time with English in our formative years, we never get comfortable enough with the language to speak it fluently and confidently. What goes wrong? Let's talk about it. Well, when it comes to learning a new thing or a skill, there are two ways to go about it. Either by doing it consciously or unconsciously through repetition and exposure, or studying about it from a book or any other resource. In the process, we actually try to master the structure of information. Now imagine trying to learn to ride a bike. How do you go about it? Of course, not by reading a book. It is not until you hop on a bike, try to pedal and fall off several times before you really learn how to do it. Now imagine trying to learn about the names of different countries in the world with their capital cities. How would you go about it? Without a shadow of doubt, you'll go through a book or any other source which has this information and then memorize it. Right? Now, how do we learn English in schools and colleges? Well, we are required to study it formally, just like any other subject, such as mathematics, science, or social studies. So we always think of it as a subject, something that can be learned by studying. Does it help? Yes, it does. It helps us a great deal to read, write, and comprehend the language. And this is exactly what we learn about English in schools and colleges. Read, write, and comprehend. And this is enough for us to get good grades. But we never get around to speak the language, simply because speaking stands apart from the rest of the language skills. It is much more similar to learning to ride a bike than memorizing a piece of information from a book. It requires active practice, repetition, not memorization. You need to speak it over and over again until it becomes second nature. Everyone who has ever learned to speak a language well has one thing in common. They spend a lot of time practicing speaking it loud. Now, what do you think? Why are you not able to speak English well after studying it for so long? Lack of practice? Yes, it is one of the reasons. But there is even a bigger reason. A reason that always held you back from putting yourself out there. That is your non-English environment. Yes, you never had enough support from your surrounding. I bet you would definitely open up to speak English at some point of time if you had other people speaking the language around you. But unfortunately, nobody uses English for everyday communication around us. And this is the reason we never open up to speak English. Consequently, we don't get too many chances to practice our spoken English. You know what? Your brain is quite efficient at learning languages, but it has to be in an ideal environment. And an ideal environment to learn a language is where it is spoken, where it is used for everyday communication. As a kid, you didn't put any special efforts into learning your native language, did you? No. You soaked it up naturally and unconsciously because you are surrounded by the language all the time. You are exposed in an environment full of your native language. Now, if you want to speak English fluently, confidently, and naturally, then all you need to do is just surround yourself with the language. Yes, replace every activity that you do in your native language with English. Just change your environment, make it full of English. Now, change is tough, change is difficult, change often throws our lives out of gear. What I mean to say is the change is gonna make you feel uncomfortable. For instance, you are used to watching TV and movies in your native language. You love it, you enjoy it. Now, if you switch to English TV and movies, that would be a totally new experience for you. You might have a hard time to understand everything on TV and movies. And most probably, you don't like it at all. And you might want to switch back to your native language. I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Just hang in there for a while. Stick around. Give it some time. And believe me, it's only a matter of time until you get used to it. And before too long, you'll get into the habit of it. You'd start liking it and enjoying it. And gradually and surely, it'll become a part of your routine and your lifestyle. And once that is done, the learning will happen automatically, naturally, and unconsciously. And the same goes with every other activity such as reading, writing, thinking, speaking. Just keep one thing in mind. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't make it so big, so huge that it overwhelms you. Don't try to achieve too much in a short period of time. You know that you can create a lot of change in one day. So all you have to do today is just get started. All that requires of you is just take a small step forward. Just ask yourself, what can I do today that will take me one step closer to my goal of attaining fluency in the language? Do it every single day. And I promise eventually you will be there. So well, this brings us to the end of today's video. If you liked it, leave a like. Consider subscribing for more videos like this. I'll see you very soon. Until then, it's Inder with Shine anywhere and everywhere saying goodbye.